I just think like it's just one of those over sensationalized busts where like one batch happened to be red and they just make it, they're like, oh, the red meth is taking over the streets of Arizona. You better watch out. They're marketing it for kids. The AirPods did sound really clear. Okay, maybe I should go back to the AirPods then. All right. Well, I'm going to turn the AirPods on then. So, hold on. I'm sorry, you guys, for being kind of whatever. I'm kind of getting back into my flow, you know?
This was the first funeral I've ever been to.
Connect.
I made a video
Okay.
probably like
So you guys said the AirPods were good. Did they sound good? Okay, we're about to go. We're about to go. Okay, you guys. So the red meth, I'll breeze over that real quick. Let's look it up real quick. Why not? We're on the live. We can do it, right? Let's go world. Why not, huh? Let's check her out, huh? Let's check out this red meth I was talking about. Even though that's not the basis of this show, but we're gonna just do it real quick just to do it. Okay, google.com. Sorry, you guys. It's the latest craze. Ooh, let's check it out. Looks spicy. Okay, okay. So we're good with the iPhone headphones. Okay, so we're gonna go. So hey, what up, Robert Wharton? What's going on? What's going on? I just got back from my girlfriend's grandfather's funeral. I have a very small family. There's only been two funerals, and I Grandpa Jack, he passed away in like 2002, I think. And I was in Arizona actually on vacation when that happened. Um, but I wish my parents would have made some kind of like better attempt to like get me to go to the funeral. You know what I mean? Because I think it's important to do that type of stuff. And my other grandfather, or step grandfather, he passed away a couple years ago, and I was in jail. So, and there's been, I think, another to make it to a lot of funerals, and that's uh that's important when you're sober, like is doing like the right thing, going like paying respect to the dead, being there, just being there for my girlfriend, because initially, because I'm in outpatient treatment, my job, I was supposed to start job training this week, and I had a Suboxone appointment. And at first I was, like, I know you had a loved one pass away, but this is going to ruin my schedule. And, I took a step back and I realized, well, maybe, maybe that's kind of a selfish way to look at it. Maybe, you know, I need to be there for my girlfriend, because it was very important to her. And, um, and that's just the kind of shit that I didn't do when I was getting high. Like, see, the thing is like I may be off drugs for 9 months, but like I still think with the same selfish addict mentality. It's always me, because like when you're an addict, when you're getting high, you can't sit and worry about this person, that person, or the next person, because you have to stay well constantly just to function. So even though I'm 9 months removed from my drug of choice, like I still do selfish shit all the time, and I gotta put myself in check and realize like if I want to stay sober, you have to put others in front of you a lot. Or, well, you don't have to, but if you want to do it the right way and you want to have a good life, Um, but it was good, man. It was good. She's got a big family. I met a lot of her family members. Her mom like bought me a bunch of like clothes for the funeral, was very generous, got us our own hotel room, and and I got to meet there's just a lot of generational trauma in my family, if that makes sense, so like when I was growing up, I didn't have a lot of people to look up to in a positive sense, right? And like it's just crazy, like this is how normal people like get together, and it was very humbling yet comforting at the same time, if that makes sense, because like I never had that, you know what I mean? I grew up in chaos as a kid, like constant chaos. So it was really it was interesting, it really was. Um but I did so we went out to eat, you know, and it was like everyone at the table, and like, we were shit called HHC, and I tried HHC, and it's like some kind of Delta something, and I went to the hot tub. Literally, it was like everyone around the hot tub, and as we left this pizza place that was kind of connected to the hotel, it was Leah, me, and I'm not gonna say who, but it was just one of her family members. I'll just say that. And like, whatever. I just did a couple of those really quick, and I'm not a weed smoker by any means. Like, never really have been a huge fan of it. I will do it here and there. And I felt, at first it was just whatever. But then we get into the hot tub area, and it's like a bunch of people. So more and more. And I'm just like, I wish I had the video footage to show you guys. I'll post some of it in the community. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. I'll post it in the community. But so yeah, we went to the hot tub, and literally like I felt like I was gonna faint. So I had to like get up out of the hot tub, and then I was just like slumped over in a chair for like 5 minutes. But yeah, never again with that. Um yeah, I don't know if any of you guys have tried that shit, but it's pretty bad. Michael Wright Reese, big facts. I'm 4 years sober. I still catch myself thinking selfishly. Yeah, I mean it's a battle, man, because it's like you have to put yourself first to be there for others, but at the same time you have to try to be as selfless as possible. So it's like a constant balancing act, and I find myself in limbo all the time. Um, but yeah, I've learned a lot of things since I got clean. I mean, when I say clean, I mean off the needle, off hard drugs, all that stuff. Because this summer, when I was coming off methadone, like I was still drinking quite a bit, hangovers. That's like another reason. And there's just so much more productive things you can do and spend your money. And like drinking at a bar is like so freaking just ridiculous and expensive. Like if you want to have a good night at the bar, it's going to be like 150, $200 if you're paying for your girlfriend or whatever. Or if you're paying for yourself, it's going to be like $100. And there's just so many better things you could do with your money. You know what I mean? And um so yeah, it's crazy to see where I'm at from March. So I'll tell you guys how I started getting high in March. So I so in November 2021, I was doing speedballs all the time. Like that whole summer 2021, I was doing speedballs. I had met this connect who had super good coke and this purple fentanyl. And like, I don't know what it is, man. Like when you start doing speedballs, it's like it is this appetite that can never be quenched. It is so hard to get off of it. And so I was working, I had a job that summer, but literally all my money went towards speedballs. I was on methadone. I was on 100 milligrams of methadone, or maybe, no, I was on 120. I was on 120 milligrams of methadone, but the fentanyl was so strong that it broke through the methadone easily. And then I would mix it with Coke. And this guy had like amazing, amazing, like some of the best Coke I've probably ever done in my life. And it was, I mean, it was 100 a gram, but I kid you not, when I first started doing this shit, like a gram would last me like 3 days, like just doing baby shots of it. And, I was just addicted to those bell ringers, just wah, wah, wah. But I wasted tens and tens and 20. And I probably spent, in the past 2 years, I probably spent like at least 60,000 on Coke and fentanyl. I've been subbing since 2017. Jonathan Alexander, what's up in the chat? I've been subbing since 2017 and see no end in sight, which is whatevs. Better than the alternative. Yeah, man, I don't disagree with that. However, um, so listen, Jonathan, I'm gonna give you some of my personal opinion on that. That's a good perspective. But I'm gonna tell you, for me, I can live a much better quality life when I'm off everything. Like that's when you're truly the happiest. But I will say it's the most challenging because when you're on subs, it still numbs your emotions, whether you want to admit it or not. It does. And when you are totally off all opiates, like the first year is going to be an emotional roller coaster. And but if you can really be strong, make it through, take vitamins, do take vitamins, intermittent fasting or fasting, working out, good diet, supplements while you're getting off Suboxone, you can make it. I promise you, I did it in Florida. Like and only way, like let's say a hopeless opiate addict can get off Suboxone is if you just hyper focus on health. That's literally the only thing that's ever worked for me. Jonathan Alexander said, "Shoot, I did some dope that was so good, I literally died. So cool." I'm Robert Wharton. What's up? I'm so pissed at myself for talking to my doctor about upping my K-pin script. Started doing probably not a good idea. Started doing Addies to stay at work. Vicious cycle. Yeah, man. I'm on Klonopin too. I'm on a low dose though. I'm on 0.5 twice a day. But I'm actually tapering now, so I'm on 20. I was getting 30 every 2 weeks. Now she just downed it to 28 every 2 weeks. Um, so we'll go back to that summer. So that summer, I met we'll call him Fam. I met Fam, right? And Fam was a real cool dude, man. He was like he was weird though. He was one of those dealers who he didn't have a big ego. He was easy to talk to, but at the same time, he was very bipolar and he could snap in a freaking instant. So like he was the type of dude, he'd always look out for me if I didn't have any money. He'd drive to my house. He would literally deliver it to my doorstep, which is hard to find in the cities, to find a fentanyl and coke, to find someone that sells fentanyl and cocaine, and they will drive 30 minutes to your house every day if you want it. So like I literally didn't even have to get out of bed. I would just literally be in bed texting him, "Yep, yep, 100 of fentanyl, 100 of coke. Come over right now." Boom. And then once you get there, send them the cash app. And that was a blessing and a curse because it made it so easy for me to use. Like I literally didn't have to do anything. I just literally just sat there in my bed and it would just come right to me. So I had this plug, right? And then one day what happened? So I know, okay, yeah, that's right. So the day that I crashed my dad's car is where it all went to shit. So basically what happened is I had a dude who would buy I would I had a dude that I would middleman my stuff through Famo, and he had a lot of money, so he would give me, quite a bit for helping him out. So I met up with him. I We went and got some stuff, and I went back home. I did a speedball. And I drank a lot of caffeine that morning. And I'm a type of person, I'm very sensitive to uppers. I only like them when I'm doing downers, but for some reason this caffeine and the cocaine had a really bad adverse reaction. And so my dad's roommate, I whatever, I shouldn't have said that, but whatever, I'll just say it anyways. My dad's roommate had a bunch of vodka, so I pound a bunch of vodka to make this like paranoia from the speedball go away, right? So then I had to go pick up a prescription that day. I said, "Hey, can I use your car?" My dad's like, "Yeah, sure. Just bring it back in like 20 minutes, 30 minutes." So by this point, I probably drank like a half a liter in like 30 minutes to make this uh, Coke paranoia go away. And this, it's funny. The same thing happens in the Toxic X series. You guys are going to hear about that soon. I still haven't come out with that story yet. So I'm supposed to be going to my pharmacy, right? Well, for some reason or another, I go back to fam to go grab another gram and I do a little whammy in the car over South Minneapolis off Franklin and Nicollet. If you guys are from Minneapolis, you know. And so then I start driving back home, and for whatever reason, the liquor just keeps catching up with me and catching up with me, and like I'm fading in and out of consciousness, and I crash my dad's car. Okay. So I get out of the car. I'm like disorientated. I was like on the phone. It was one of those things where I was like on the phone and I was kind of like driving and like I kind of like just like and like the car like I was on a major highway, like a 60-mile-per-hour highway, and boom and fucking hit the guardrail. So I'm like shit, 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 shit. So I freaking just dip, right? I dip down the block. I'm like Usain Bolt in this motherfucker. Like, oh shit. Then all of a sudden, whoop whoop, cops get me. I'm like, oh shit. Cops get right behind me. And they're like, "Were you driving that car?" I was like, "No." I was like, "I'm not saying anything, man." I was like, "I need a lawyer." So, whatever. I go to Hennepin County Jail. So I wasn't caught in the car. And then they put me on a 36-hour probable cause hold, which means basically they have the police department that arrests you has 36 hours to file the charges. And if they don't file if like they don't file them, then you just get released. So I just got released the next day. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm good. I was like, they must like, I can't believe they didn't breathalyze me or give me a DUI. Like it was pretty freaking amazing actually. Um, so then that happens and it's like a big deal. Like I get kicked out of my dad's house, rightfully so. Like I just totaled his like brand new car. And so then I go to the homeless shelter. And when I'm in the shelter, I'm basically at a rock bottom, right? I'm at rock bottom, I'm out of money, and I was on probation at the time too. So probation's like, okay, or I don't know if probation made me go to treatment. I think that it was like, I don't know. Either way, I had to go to treatment. So I go to treatment, right? And I do a 45-day treatment. I'm getting sober, and this is actually like right when I started my YouTube. Well, this isn't when I started my YouTube channel, but it was when I made the Fentanyl documentary, and I had a shitty like $80 phone that I was trying to make edits with, and they were just terrible. But so that's when I started my YouTube channel. And I was like, hey, I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna go to college, right? Knowing that they give you a lot of money when you go to college. You know, you get your little, $10,000 loan or whatever. So I go to school and I'm waiting on the loan and I'm actually doing well. I went there for computer science. Like I've always been into like programming, video editing, like editing, like just like I love tech stuff, I've always been into it. And I was doing really well. I was doing really well until I got the money. I was doing really good until that loan came. And I mean, I think I was doing pretty good for a few days, but my plan was to buy a vehicle with like half the money. But the used car market was messed up at the time. Like I was literally trying to buy cars, people would buy them. It was like I was trying to buy an 2008 Acura with like 180,000 miles on it for like 6 grand. Terrible deal. And like couldn't get that. So eventually I get frustrated one day and I start using. And that was like the whole from February to March, it was just me blowing through that money. I was like selling it a little bit to keep up with my habit. But I had that money as backup, which not good. But so I'm doing that all winter, and it's like bad. I'm buying like $200 worth or like at first, like the shit was so good at first, it was only costing me like $50 a day, even between the coke and the heroin. I get no, it was like 60 a day. I'd get like a 30 of coke, 30 of heroin every day. But then it just escalated, as you guys know. It turned into 100 a day. Then it was like 150, and then it's just like before you know it, the money's gone. And what led to me getting sober was I had a bunch of cottons saved up, with the residue on them and stuff, and I did a cotton rinse. It's basically where you get a spoon or a cooker or whatever, you put a bunch of old cottons in there, heat it up, whatever, smash them down, get all that residue out of there, and I tried to, do a speedball. And there was like nothing even on this cotton anyway, so this is why it was so pointless. So I get the worst cotton fever I've ever had in my life, like the freaking absolute worst. And it was like getting scary. Like my heart was like beating like this, and I was just like shaking, like almost like on the verge of convulsing. And I know multiple people that have gotten endocarditis, which is a heart valve infection from, that's what cotton fever ultimately can turn into if your immune system isn't good, or it's just too much bacteria or whatever the X factors may be. So I knew that I had to get to a hospital. Like, I mean, I sat there and waited, and like I was like, should I go? Should I not? And I'm like, well, I mean, it's it's better to be safe than sorry. And turns out, once I get to the hospital, my septic blood levels were very high. Like I was septic. My blood was toxic. The bacteria had overrun my bloodstream, and I was on IV antibiotics daily. um, they delivered my methadone to me. It was like in a, like a big syringe, and it was clear methadone. It was so weird. They would give it to me every morning. It was like, um, it was clear methadone, and they would just squeeze it into my IV, and it was nice. I'm not gonna lie. Like it was, and I was getting, and they gave me like, so I was on Clonopin point 0.5 twice a day, or no, 3 times a day, at 3 grams of Clonopin a day when I was in the hospital. Um, so I was on methadone, Clonopin, and the food was amazing at this place. Like usually hospital food is just like meh, but I was just, and this is when I trolled Ryan Leone. I like it. Rest in peace, Ryan. Like I definitely regret doing that. But that's kind of like what ignited my little spark on YouTube. Is like I just made up a lie one day. I was like, I was like, yeah, Ryan Leone, he got a domestic assault. He's in LA County jail. He beat up Karina pretty bad, man. Hey, what up, Squadcast TV? Hey, if you guys haven't already, go to Squadcast TV, subscribe to that guy. He's an up and coming YouTuber. He's got a lot of charisma. Good dude. Lil Burpee in the chat. Rest in peace, Ryan Leone. Free Lil Burp till it's over, baby. Hey, Lil Burp, you getting out soon, man? Let's hit me up, bro. Hit me up. lukegtv22 at gmail.com. Same with you, Squadcast. I just got back from the funeral, man. I want to do some shit. So, anyways, um, I'm in this hospital, man, and I got my little school laptop book. You know, they give you a laptop for fentanyl. Um, and I was just like at my wits' end. I'm like, okay, I'm 32 years old. Or no, wait, I was 31 at the time. I was like, I'm 31 years old, man. I just spent $40,000 on cocaine and heroin. I messed up my college education, and I've been doing this since 2010, and it's now 2022, and now it's 2022, and I've been doing this shit since 2010. So it's like I just hit a point where it's like, okay, how much worse can it get? You know what I mean? Like, how much worse am I gonna let this get? Because like I just almost got a heart valve infection. Had I had gotten endocarditis, I would have had to have a pacemaker in my heart. Like, I would have had all sorts of health problems. And at that point, and I got, oh yeah, and they tested me for all infectious diseases. I somehow miraculously did not have HIV. I did not have hepatitis C. I've made it damn near 13 years of shooting dope off and on, no hep C, no HIV, no freaking and I beat this endocarditis shit. I was like, that's a sign from God for real. Like, you know, I'm a believer in God. I don't get into it too much on my channel, but I really am. And that was a big wake up call for me to be like, dude, like I already knew what I was doing was insane, but like I just continued to do it anyways. But this was really the point where I was like, you know what? I got a YouTube channel. Like I may not have any money, I may not have a lot of shit, but I got this laptop and I got wits and I started figuring out Streamlabs. I started figuring out YouTube, and was I making any money off it? No, I wasn't. But I didn't have anything else to do, and it gave me hope for the future that I was like, hey, you know, like it's been a long run. You know, this 12 years has been a long run. And I mean, it's been longer than 12 years. I've been selling drugs since I was 15. So, but like heroin specifically since 2010. And you know, I've overdosed like 8, 9 times. Um endocarditis. I almost had endocarditis. I mean, how much worse am I gonna let if I were to I was like at the point where I was like praying a lot and I was like literally like if I were to continue using right now, like I'm gonna not gonna keep getting lucky anymore. You know what I mean? Like you only get so lucky so many times and it would be like a slap in the face to my higher power. Um so I was in treatment or no, scratch that. So I was in the hospital, right? And like my veins were all shot out. So they were having a hard time giving me the antibiotics IV. So, but I was waiting to go to treatment from the hospital. So basically, they cut me loose early, and they're like, we got good news. We got a halfway house you could go to in Minneapolis, and I was like, cool. So I go to this halfway house in South Minneapolis. And right away when I get there, I see a friend of mine that I used to get high with, and he's like kind of a similar dude, you know, like comes from like the suburbs type shit, like does dope, does all that shit. Like, and we knew we had a lot of mutual friends. So me and him were like this, you know what I mean? We were real cool. And shout out to him. He's actually last I heard he's sober and stuff. But this ties into what is happening now. So basically, like, me and him are chilling a bunch, and I'm just working like at this point when I'm first out of the hospital, like I'm just like getting back into working out, like getting my social skills like all queued up again because like you got to realize like for the past prior year and a half to this, like I was literally just isolating at my dad's house doing speedballs and only talking to my dealer or my boss at work and no one else. Like I literally did nothing. All my money went to speedballs. I so it was like when I went to treatment, it was like weird being around that many people at once. And it was like so I had to get comfortable in the uncomfortable. Like I basically like had to relearn how to be social again. And so I start working out, like getting healthy. Um and yeah, so treatment was going pretty good. And one day, my friend that I met in this treatment center goes, "Hey, do you want to hang out with my ex girlfriend, her friend, and her friend's little sister? We're going to go to Stone Arch Bridge in downtown Minneapolis." I was like, "Yeah, definitely." Because at this point, like I got about 3 months sober at this point. So like, when you get clean, like you're like looking at females and shit again. Like you're like, yeah, yeah, like definitely. Definitely want to go hang out with some girls. Like, like that's like what motivates you to go to meetings in the beginning when you get clean. And so we go to the Stone Arch Bridge or whatever, and like this girl comes and picks us up in this little Toyota Camry. And the girl driving the front seat is my girlfriend Leah. And me and Leah realized that, hey, we actually met each other like 2.5, 3 years ago when she was still getting high because she's got 3 years sober now. So I kind of like, so I'll tell you like this. Like I got in the car, I didn't even recognize her at first. So we go to Stone Arch Bridge. We park the car, go to Stone Arch Bridge. I'm talking, and I'm like barely even talking to this girl, to Leah. I'm like talking to her friend, her other friend more. So we're just walking around, and then all of a sudden, like she comes up to me and she's like, "Hey," she's like, "Do you remember me?" And I was like, "No, I don't. Where do I know you from?" And she's like, "Do you know this?" I'm not gonna say his name. I'll just do the initials. Do you know LK? I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right," because I used to sell Xanax, so I sold Xanax to them a couple times, um, and also when I was in a meth frenzy like 3 years ago, and I like put like 500 Xanax in this Pringles can, and I hid it behind some bush, and I was like all blacked out, and methed out, and like I lost it. So one time I was selling them Xanax a couple times, but then they helped me look for my Xanax one time too, and I was like, yeah, that's right. And like I always thought she was cute too, so I was like, damn, that's what's up. But she was my homeboy's ex girlfriend. They weren't together anymore. And actually, I didn't even realize that was his ex girlfriend. I thought his ex girlfriend was this other girl. I'm not going to say her name. She's a brunette. My girlfriend's a blonde. So I didn't even realize that was his ex girlfriend. So whatever. I'm like, I'm not, like I'm early sobriety, but I wasn't like thirsty, like, hey, let me get your number, da da da, because it's my it's my buddy's girlfriend. Yeah, squad. Hey, thanks, Squadcast. I'll get to that in a second. So you know what I mean? Because it's like when your homeboy like introduces you to some girls, like it ain't the best look to be like instantly like, hey, let me get your number. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like if a like for the most part, like if a girl wants to hang out with you, like they'll let you know. That's kind of how I approach it. I mean, it may be different for everybody, but when she dropped us off, she's like, hey, I'd like to hang out again and like do something fun like this again. And I was like, shit, bet. Here's my Snapchat. So she gives me her Snapchat. whatever, whatever. And I go back to the sober house. Now, the next morning, my friend, he's like, treat me completely different. He's like all pissed off and shit. And he's like kind of acting all weird and shit. Cause like I got her number and like I said hey to her and like I didn't even like respond to her right away. I just like was like, hey, what's up? And then she's like, hey, what's up? And like I didn't even respond to her right away. But my buddy's like, I forget exactly what he said, but he was like, oh yeah, by the way, Leah just wanted your number so she could get some of the pictures we took at the bridge. But and by this point, I found out that Leah was his ex girlfriend. I didn't know that they were dating for 5.5 years before that. But so he was like basically trying to send me off from my girl. He was like he wasn't like, which I don't blame him, you know what I mean? Like I don't blame him. Like I wasn't purposely trying to do that. Like and in fact, actually now thinking about it, I didn't even know it was his girlfriend until like after me and her started communicating. So yeah, we start communicating more and we like just really liked each other right away, you know, and like basically like we hung out one day and she dropped me back off at my sober house and like I don't know what it was, but like after that I was just like, you know, I was kind of nervous at first cuz I hadn't had a girlfriend in like 2 years, right? So like I was about to go hang out with her. So I go to the liquor store. I went to the liquor store and got some beer and I drank a few beers before we hung out. And Luke G will steal your girl. Yeah, Squadcast said it has to happen naturally. Definitely, bro. And in fact, if you're you don't ever want to be the dude who's like chasing the girl because like the she's never gonna respect you ever. Like that makes you look like a fool. Like it's never. I mean, in my experience, at least, I could be wrong, but like once you lose a woman's respect, it's very hard to gain it back. It's like almost damn near impossible. So, anyways, we drink some beers. Basically, the next morning, I get a UA and it comes up positive for alcohol. They give me an alcohol test in the morning and I get kicked out immediately, which is crazy because there was people relapsing multiple times on meth, fentanyl, et cetera, and they kicked me out for drinking alcohol once. That's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? But pretty much ever since then, like, you know, like we basically have hung out every day since. Like, she got me to help me to move out of the city. Cause, like, dude, I can't live in the city, man. The city, it's just too easy to get shit in the city. Like, bro, it's Minneapolis is becoming a very big city. It's like next to, like, in the Midwest, Chicago's the biggest, obviously. Minnesota's the second biggest or Minneapolis is the second biggest. Like Minneapolis is a big city now. Um, you know, and like I had a drug dealer who would deliver drugs to my house. So I had to get out of the city. I couldn't stay in the city anymore. And I know people always say like, you know, like grass isn't greener on the other side. Wherever you go, there you are. Like it ain't gonna help. I don't care what you say, man. Like it does help in the beginning for sure. Like yeah, but the thing is with that, you move, you're still going to have your same set of problems you deal with, but like in the beginning of your recovery, if you can get out of that environment you were using in, like that's extremely important. Like so basically after that, man, it was just hanging out with her every day and I got my methadone take home, so I had to go to the cities once a week. And then you guys, I've already told that whole story, but of how I switched from methadone to Suboxone because they found out my YouTube video. Like I made a funny ass video. I wish I would have never deleted it, but it was like it was on Snapchat, and it was like I took a Snapchat, and it was like my girlfriend, her roommate, who's like this young, pretty girl in her 20s, like my girlfriend's, two pretty girls, and like a stack of methadone boxes. I was playing like, I don't know, probably like Young Dolph or some shit, and I just made it look like a rap video. And like, I was like, yeah, yeah, this is so funny. Ha ha ha, yeah, yeah. But I had an op at the fucking methadone clinic who found my YouTube channel. You already know that story, the methadone clinic story. And his ass told on me. So then the fucking methadone clinic saw the video of like these girls dancing and twerking by methadone bottles, and they're like, do you think this is a joke? Do you think this is a joke? Okay. Like, my counselor was like, he didn't even know what to say. He was like, yeah, you need to come in my office. And then he's like, did one of those things where he like turns the screen and he's like just plays the video in dead silence, like, and I'm just sitting there like, I was like what, bro? It's funny. Don't you get it? Like, it's kind of like a joke. It's like I'm pretending like the methadone bottles are lean and it's a rap video. It's like and I'm like trying to explain to him why it's funny, and it's like kind of like sarcastic and this and that, and he just like just no, no. Like, a lot of people don't agree with my humor, and that's why I stopped sharing my videos on Facebook, because like, dude, my family members think I'm a fucking, like, they think I'm insane or something, probably. But hey, Ryan Cloutier, what, I forgot how to pronounce your name, but hey, that's my homeboy from Minnesota, Ryan Cloutier, in the chat. Um, what's up, bro? How you doing? Hey, if any of you guys want to come, oh shit, someone called me. Hey, if any of you guys want to call in on the call-in show, please feel free to do so. Someone just called. I'm gonna call him back. Yeah, freaking homeboy, he was salty about that $20, man. Okay, so I'm gonna call someone. They called me like 30 minutes ago. I didn't have my ringer on for my live stream number. Do I still use meth? No, I don't use meth. I hate meth. All right, so we're calling back a live stream caller. Let's see if they're still available. There's a lot of red meth going around right now. Hey, Ryan, why don't you call in on the show, bro? Ryan, you want to call in? I'd appreciate it. Please leave your message for... Oh, they didn't answer. Hey, you guys, I really strongly encourage you to call in on the show, man. Okay, I'll show you guys. I got to take the AirPods out to do this, but... Oh, you're with your mom? I'll show you guys the red meth in a second. Hello, welcome to lukegtv. Who am I speaking to? What'd you say?
This is Squadcast TV. I'm calling in for the live show.
Oh, what up, squad?
What's going on with you, man?
Hey, not much, man. Just enjoying my Saturday. How about yourself?
Oh, good. Yeah, I was checking out the lives, man. I was just calling in, man, to see how you doing, man. It's good to speak to you live, man, because I remember you wanted to do that collab, so I was just tapping in with you.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. Yeah, man. I checked out a couple of your videos, bro, and I really like it. I
like I like urban YouTube. I like you know, like I haven't watched a lot. So can you explain to me kind of what your channel's about?
Sure, yeah, I would love to, man. So right now, obviously I do podcasts. I don't know if you noticed that. That's mostly what I do, and we talk about everything, man. You know, we'll talk about politics, we'll talk about sports, we'll talk about
Right.
Religion, a little bit of everything, man. I try to mix it up.
Yeah. Right. You do some true crime type shit too?
Yeah, that's coming soon. True crime reactions. I do live stream for like I'm a big UFC fan, so I would like live stream the pay-per-views and try to be on the streamer thing. So yeah, try to mix it up. But yeah, I fuck with the true crime too.
That's what's up. Where you from, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't mind at all. Yeah, I'm located in California, Palm Springs, California, to be exact.
Oh, Palm Springs. That's what's up. My
Yes, sir.
my girl, her family's got a place out there actually.
You said you got a girl that's in Palm Springs?
No, her family has a place out there. Like they got like a time,
Oh, nice.
they got some kind of timeshare or some shit out there. But
Yeah, that's a good move, man. The weather's great this time of year.
yeah, bro, like once I finish up all this like court shit I'm dealing with, like I'm actually like we want to move out west, bro. So we might be coming to a local town near you, man. So
Hey, that'll be lit. But is there any town specific that you're looking at, or is it kind of just
I don't know,
whatever
man.
happens at that moment?
Like we're thinking somewhere like you know, maybe like a smaller town in Southern California or something like that. That's kind of what we're thinking. I mean, we definitely don't want to live in LA. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, LA, too much going on.
There's
man.
too
Yeah,
much.
That's a smart move.
Yeah, that just wouldn't be good for me. Yeah, I could move to Santa Barbara like with Ryan Leone, but yeah, Santa Barbara would be nice. My buddy lived out there actually. But yeah, man, that's what's up, bro. So yeah, you guys go check out Squadcast TV. I want to do an interview with you. I mean, you guys you want to briefly maybe like what's your story is basically what I'm trying to get at.
Damn, no one's ever asked me that, man. So, you know what, man, I got a pretty boring story, but I will definitely share it. I don't mind at all. So, yeah, I'm from a small town, just called Moreno Valley, California.
Moreno Valley.
Born and raised there. Yeah,
yep.
came to Palm Springs when I was a teenager in high school, and I've been out here ever since, man. You know, growing up, I definitely been around a lot of violence, you know, in the little... In Moreno Valley, there was this one city called, one street called Webster, and there was a lot of gang violence, a lot of drug use. My dad, he did a lot of time. I didn't meet him for the first time till I was 14.
In the CDCR?
He changed his life since.
In the CDCR? He was in the CDC?
Nah, he was in the penitentiary.
No, that's what I meant, like California Department of Corrections.
Oh, it's my bad. Yeah, he was. Yes, sir. He was definitely in here. And, yeah, I didn't meet him until I was about 14. And, just kind of, you know, my mom did it by herself, so she did the best she could, you know, doing it on her own. But, you know, it was good times and bad times. But, yeah, man, and that led me up to today, man. You know, I got 2 beautiful children, and, man, just trying to get involved in this YouTube stuff. I've been doing it for like 8 months, and that's kind of, honestly, where I want to go forward. Like kind of like you, man. I see you built, you know, a great platform, and I kind of just want to just do the YouTube thing, man, and take care of these kids, you know.
Yeah, man. Well, I just want to tell you, man. No, you don't got a boring story, man. Nobody has a boring story. It's just you gotta. What I've realized over the years is like just being authentic and really like telling people like. Being vulnerable and like telling your truth and your story. Like everyone has an interesting story. It's just how you present it, you know. And like I'm sure you definitely seem like you got some wisdom. And I mean, dude, you definitely got a lot to offer, man. My only suggestion would be on YouTube is, you know, stick don't stretch out to too many different things, because like people want to come, like, you know what I mean, like, because I tried to do all my poker shit on this channel, and I realized quickly that I was like, okay, that probably ain't gonna work. So I was like,
No doubt.
so I tried to kind of stick in, I don't know. I just try to stay in my lane, but like, dude, I don't know. You just you got a good style to your channel though, bro. Like you'll learn as you go on. That's how YouTube is. Like in the beginning, like I remember, like I started my channel 2 years ago, but I was still getting high, and I would just post videos of me high on heroin.
No way, for real?
Yeah, that's literally all I would do, and people were just like, "What the fuck? Who is this guy?" And then there's this dude Ryan Leone, who is like a famous author, and he knew Johnny Depp. He was a heroin addict. He made a YouTube channel, and that kind of inspired me to go forward. But yeah, and then I started taking it seriously, like, early this year, and I made a lot of shitty videos, and I've learned a lot. But you learn from those shitty videos, and you're like, okay.
You do.
You know what I mean? So you already know. Someone said.
Let me ask you this. Do you mind if I ask you? Because I noticed, man, you have exceeded the 1K threshold, man. Are you monetized? Can you share that just real quick? I mean, if not, I understand, but I would think so, right?
I'm not monetized yet. That's because I have an active strike on my channel. And
oh no.
Yeah, dude. Well, so I called another, like, I basically did an exposed video on this other YouTuber a while back, and the next day, it wasn't even, the weird thing it wasn't even a video about her. It was like some video I did about, because I one time I shot up meth, Molly, and heroin in one shot, and it was a really bad experience, and I made a video about it, and YouTube claimed that I was instructing people on how to manufacture drugs.
What the? Hey, YouTube, man, I appreciate the platform YouTube provide, but it be like little shit like that, and there's like there's no way for you to like get it fixed, bro. It's just like what they say is what it is, even though I'm sure that wasn't your intentions. You know what I mean?
Right,
like little shit
right.
Like that pisses me off about YouTube.
Right. Well, the thing that pisses me off is, like, big channels like Vice, they can show people shooting up, they can do this, they can do that. But it's like when I just talk about it, and I wasn't telling anyone, I was telling people how bad of an experience it was. I wasn't glorifying it. I wasn't doing any of that shit. So they be picking and choosing. Yeah. Yeah, man. So I'm hoping to get monetized within the next month or so. I think middle of January, I'll be eligible. So I just,
do it, brother. I like your content, man. You definitely very entertaining, and hopefully you get that strike removed, man, so you can get your monetization up, man.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Yeah, I got I had this podcast in California. I'm not gonna say who it is yet, but it's a big platform on YouTube. They wanted they said they'll come on my show, but the only way they'll let me do an interview on their show is if I come in person. So I got to fly out to Cali to do an interview on their show. So hopefully that's coming soon. It's a big channel. I'm not, like I said, out of respect for them, I'm not gonna mention it because we're privately conversing on Instagram. Okay. So that would.
By the way,
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead and continue.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say when you do that interview in California, depending on where it is, my setup is pretty. I mean, I could make it mobile, man. When you come out here, maybe we can link up, man. We could do a in-person interview on my platform also. So if possible, you know what I mean?
Hey, that'd be dope. I definitely would be interested in that. Yeah, for sure, bro. For sure. You got like cameras and shit?
I got a couple cameras. Yes, sir.
Nice. Yeah, dude. I literally film my channel from an iPhone. Well, I use See, I use my girlfriend. She has an iPhone 13 and a laptop. That's all I use, and then I have a light. So that's literally, I mean, that's really all you need, honestly, if you know how to do it right. That's like iPhone's like probably one of the better cameras you can use, unless you're gonna spend like 2-3 grand or something like that. But or actually, I don't know.
Unless you're doing like a super pro channel, you don't need a $2,000-$3,000 camera. Your smartphone will do justice. You know what I mean?
Right. But my next purchase is definitely gonna be an iPhone for filming, and then I want to get a gaming computer for editing and stuff. You know.
Hell yeah. What software are you using to stream?
I use Streamlabs OBS.
Nice, that's what I use also,
Yep. Streamlabs is really cool.
Can't go wrong with Streamlabs, man.
Yeah, Streamlabs is really cool, man. Like, they got a lot of plugins. I haven't really figured out the plugins, but like I've kind of been figuring it out on my own though, like how to like do different shit and like, you know, get the chat box on the screen and stuff like that. And you can actually you can use your iPhone as a camera for your laptop. I didn't even realize that either. But it's kind of tricky though. You gotta like get the camera, and then you gotta like transform it, because like you basically plug your iPhone into the computer and then you put it on video mode, but then it'll show all the video you know, outlines and shit. So then you gotta like cut that out of it. So it's kind of a finicky little thing, but
hey, look how you got it to work though, from the looks of it, because I see the chat on screen, and that's just pretty legit. I actually need to learn how to do that shit myself.
Yeah. No, I can show you how to do it, bro. It's pretty easy. Pretty easy.
Yeah, I would appreciate that. That's dope.
Yes, sir. Kenneth Powers.
Look, man, I don't want to hold up the show, man. I really appreciate you letting me call in, man. I look forward to doing some type of work with you. And by the way, man, on a personal level, I'm really happy for you, man, because I watched a few of your videos and this what your struggle and what you overcame, man. I'm really thankful to be able to watch that. And you put the way you put it down on, you know, to make people enjoy it and on the internet. Appreciate you, bro.
Hey, dude, I appreciate that, man. It hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows, but I mean, hey, man, it's a night and day difference from 9 months ago, so appreciate it.
Wow, only 9 months ago. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Such a big change.
Yeah.
Bro. Such a big change.
Yep. Well, thanks for calling in, bro. I appreciate it. Hey, don't forget to go subscribe to Squadcast TV, you guys. Good dude, good channel. Yeah.
Much love, brother. Thank you.
Okay. We got another caller calling in. All right, Ryan. You ready to call in? All right, you guys. That's Squadcast TV. Good dude. We got Ryan Cloutier. We got one of my Minnesota homies calling in here in a second. All right, that's what's up, Ryan. That's what's up. Drip on Ice. There's some good DSLR cameras for under $1,000. What's a DSLR camera? DSLR? Hey, what's up, John Wolf? I didn't even notice you in there, man. Johnny taught me so much about the pen. Taught me about a thing called a shot caller. Hey, man. Dude, I'm having trouble figuring this out, man. So, I messed up on the whole Johnny thing as far as the background check. So, I guess the paperwork, me looking him up on the Oregon DOC website wasn't definitive proof he wasn't in prison. Still doesn't mean he wasn't in prison. I still am like 95% sure he didn't go. But unfortunately, that was not definitive proof. So I need to figure out a way to find, to get a background check on this guy and find out what his real name is. So if any of you guys could help me do that, I would greatly appreciate it. Here. It said not in service. Try it again. What's your number, Ryan? Here, I'll just put my other number in the chat. All right. Try that number, Ryan. DSLR are better than phones in low light, but yes, most of the time they are used for photography. He knows as much as my mom when it comes to the joint. Yeah, dude, it's crazy that people actually believe that, dude, man. That's what blows me away is like people actually I don't think that many people really believe it. I just think that like it is well produced. I mean, he is knowledgeable about the drug trade in some ways, but in a lot of ways he's not though. Like he literally just copy pastes stuff from Vice and like he really like and it's just crazy like dude, I don't know. It's crazy that a lot of people backing him, you know? Hello.
What's up?
What's up, Ryan? How you doing, bud?
I'm good. I'm just chilling at home in Shakopee, Minnesota.
That's what's up. So, hey, if you don't mind telling the chat, where do you remember where we met?
Yeah, we were fucking down and out, homeless in Minneapolis.
Yep.
It was cold as fuck outside.
Yeah, dude. Well, that was about a year ago, too, wasn't it? Like,
yeah, I'd say so.
that was like about a year ago, yeah. Yeah, dude. Those were some rough times, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That was well, that was my low before my low. Cause like that was when I was doing the speedballs all the time and shit. And then I went to treatment, got clean for like 3 months, then got all my FAFSA money, as I told during this live stream, and it just
What's FAFSA money?
like when you go to school and you get a student loan. I got
Yeah.
$10,000 or whatever, $9,000.
I was gonna do that.
Yeah. Well, it's biting me in the ass now, so I wouldn't suggest it.
Oh, damn, that same thing happened to my friend.
Yeah. Well, there's student loan forgiveness that I'm trying to do right now because Biden just passed it, so I got to see if I can qualify for it.
Oh, yeah.
But so I don't know if you guys want to tell the audience because like I've told, so like what's it like being a heroin addict in Minnesota? Just just from like how it's sold, like being homeless in the cold. Like tell the audience a little bit about like how that is, because I think people it's a different beast being an addict here in Minnesota, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's kind of a case by case basis,
Right. That's true. I
think it started out like we were doing a lot of pills, in high school, and they got too expensive, and people started to like getting tar, around town.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
and so
that was like
you're
thing in Shakopee in the suburbs was just tar, China.
You're about my age, right?
Yeah, I just turned 33.
33. So I remember in the early 2010s, I had a Mexican plug, and I would get the multicolored balloons, and that was the big thing when I first started doing dope. That was my first plug, and I was getting grams for like $50. And it was like definitely some kind of Mexican criminal syndicate. I don't know what they were, but they were really big. It was like Javier, freaking Carlos, and Jaime. Those are the three I remember. And then they got federally indicted or something like that. And then I never saw the Mexicans like selling it on a big level again after that. But I know in like Shakopee, Chaska, and like the western suburbs of the Twin Cities, like tar has always been really big. Why do you think that is? Is there a lot of Mexicans out there?
I don't know, not as much as like in parts of Minneapolis and St. Paul, but
I know, but it's always been weird to me though, because like there's always been a lot of tar out in like Chaska and Shakopee and like in that area. I don't know why. There always has been. So
yeah, sometimes it's really nasty, and sometimes it's like really good, but
yeah, if it's like
destroys your veins and shit.
If it's like the gunpowder, it's decent. But
right.
as we know, that shit is few and far between nowadays.
Oh, I know, yeah. It's
so I just talked to my buddy and he said that the shit he was getting, he was unknowingly doing benzo dope, and he had benzos in his system from the dope.
Yeah, I got a buddy that happened to.
Yeah, so that shit's coming to fucking Minneapolis now too.
Fucking man.
Yeah.
What's happened to the game? It's fucking.
That's why, bro. I threw my hands up, bro, and I just gave up, dude, because I was just like, this just isn't even manageable. Not like it really ever was extremely manageable, but I mean there were points where it was, but it's like when you're doing fentanyl, you can't even have a job because you got to do it every 30 minutes, you know? With dope, you could do a shot and be good for fucking 6-7 hours. You know, so it's just like you can't even hold down a job because you're in the bathroom every other hour, you know?
Oh yeah, you just fiend way more.
It's like an opioid version of crack, pretty much.
Fuck yeah.
But
it's kind of like Dilaudid too. I think it's stronger than Dilaudid for sure.
Yeah. So what's been going on, man? If you don't mind me asking, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I was like on the streets again about a month ago.
Okay.
Only like for 1 month in October after I got kicked out of my sober house in St. Paul.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
dude.
I was pretty, like serious about getting sober again. It was 26 treatment. Fucking, I was doing outpatient.
Yeah.
After inpatient, I did 90 days of inpatient. Went to outpatient at North Star.
At North Star, yeah. Yeah, my girlfriend actually works for North Star. Well, actually, I shouldn't even be saying that on camera, but but a different one though, But dude, I was thinking about this, like, man, you got a lot. I mean, you're 33, you've been doing it as long as I have, dude. You got so much experience, man. Like, if you got sober, like, dude, you could fucking really help some people, man. And like, I'm not saying necessarily be a sponsor, but like, dude, you got a lot of experience under your belt, and you got to realize, like, at this point, like, how much worse do you want it to get, you know?
Right.
And fuck, you could make a YouTube channel too, bro. I'm sure you got hundreds of stories, dude. Like
yeah, I mean, that'd be sweet. And I could I want to keep working on my art, and I got a Instagram page where I put my art up on there and shit.
That's what's up, bro. Well, you should do that, and then you could advertise your art on your YouTube, dude. It'd be
It's called Soul In, Soul Out.
Okay, you guys go subscribe to his Instagram or follow him on Instagram. What is it?
What is it again? I can't even remember.
Sold In, Sold Out or something. Type it in the chat.
I just changed it like recently, so that's why I can't remember.
Oh, okay. Well, shit, man. Hey, I gotta get going. I actually gotta get going, bro. I'm sorry to cut you off, but it was good talking to you, dude.
It's called Spirit, Soul In, Soul Out, Spirit.
Okay, well, type that in the chat so people can follow you, because a bunch of people are asking about it. So.
Nice.
But I gotta go, bro. It was good talking to you, man. Be safe, dude, and hope to catch you on another live or something.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, bro. Love you, dude.
What's up, homie? Bye.
All right, you guys. That's Ryan. Go follow his Instagram page. I gotta get going, you guys. Thanks for joining the chat. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, donate if you can. I'm trying to save up for a new phone so I can film edited videos more often because I have to use my girlfriend's phone, and you know how girls are with their phones. It's hard to get that phone so I can edit and make videos. So please, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, subscribe, donate if you can. Catch me on the next episode. I'm hoping to have an edited video done possibly tomorrow, hopefully. That's my goal. I'm starting work on Monday, so